Right, welcome everyone to Fell Riders Diaries. Been a little while since I've talked to you all, but we've got ourselves a lovely summer's evening here on Eve Solstice. There we go, there's another sheep. And that's a timely reminder, because that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. Is that here we are, 7:18, we're out on a lovely evening ride on a summer's day. And particularly around this time, because all the people by now in their cars have generally gone back to their holiday cottages, they're in their restaurants, they're starting making their tea in their campsites, and the roads are fairly empty, which is a good thing. The problem that comes with that is you may be able to see from the video and from the shadows that are going across the video, I've just been riding in shade and now I'm riding in bright sunlight. Now what this means is there's a dreadful sharp contrast between what you can see in bright sunlight and what you can't see in the shadows. Now this is what we use appropriate speed for. Here we go, we're back in the shade again. So your eyes have got to adjust to the light available, and then once they've adjusted you can see everything reasonably clearly, and then before you know it, bang, you're back into sunshine again, and your eyes have got to adjust once more. It's not a problem, but it takes, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 seconds, maybe 10 seconds for your eyes to adjust, and in those 10 seconds you've got to decide whether your progress is safe. Now on any given road, probably so, you know, it's if it had been raining that morning there might be some wet leaves in the shadows, but on this road, the Kirkstone Pass, all these lovely sheep that you see out in the fields, well, they don't stay in the fields, they come down to the road, and the reason they do this is because the road is still warm, the tarmac is warmer, and they kind of like that. Problem is, if they're not moving, they're very difficult to see, and if they're in the shadows and you've just entered a shaded area and your eyes haven't adjusted yet, then that's a problem because you don't see them at all. They could be anything, they could be a rock, they could be a sack of something. It's only until they move that you realise, hang on, this thing's got the potential to walk out in front of me. So this is why we use appropriate speed. Now on this part of the road I know I've got Brothers Water to my left, I've got a fell to my right. Don't normally get sheep here, but we'll still keep an eye out. As you can see, the road still goes from sunny to shade, from sunny to shade, and every time we've got to adjust for that. You know me by now, I don't go fast, I don't go shredding tyres, I don't go being a hooligan. It is actually a major goal to get home in one piece. I'm sure a lot of people go out riding, they don't even consider that, but for me it's a big consideration. So as we approach Patterdale and Glenridding, we're going to have the fell cover of Helvellyn, which means I'm mostly going to be in shade now, so I can put my sun visor up, and as we get closer and closer to the fell, so the sun disappears and the temperature to a certain degree, not so much, but you do notice it. And here we are into incomplete shade. I've got the race can back on just for a short while, just to remind myself why I enjoy it. Normally if I'm going to be touring, if I'm going to do any big miles, I'll take it back off, I'll put the standard can back on, but for the time being I like the idea of the race can today. I've got a couple of friends coming up to visit me sometime next week, well not me specifically, but they're on a little biking holiday, and they're going to take in the Yorkshire Dales, North Yorkshire, Cumbria, the lakes. I said, sure, come and look me up, tell me where you're going, tell me where you are, see if I can get a couple of days off work. And so sure enough, hope to catch up with my mate Dave and his mate Steve, as I know they're going to be down in the Langdales on Wednesday, and then they're going to be heading to the Eden Valley on Thursday, so everything being equal, I'll get a little ride up with them. Might even do a quick video log of that. Other bits and pieces, nothing too exciting. But actually maybe exciting, who knows. I had a couple of weeks off, just catch up with family and friends down in Essex and around London. I also spent 6 days over in the south of France. I've got a friend of mine who lives over there. We caught up to each other. Spent a very enjoyable couple of days on Ile de Lorient. Which was very nice indeed. And this is the thing, every time I come back from France, I always come back with this idea that there's a wonderful lifestyle waiting for me there if I want it. I mean, obviously you got to pick up the lingo and you got to find yourself some work, but you know, the pound's strong against the euro at the moment and properties are reasonably cheap. There's a lot of good stuff going on over in the south of France at the moment. And when that straw breaks the camel's back and I'll throw my hands up and say, that's it, I've had enough, you can fuck off. And that might be exactly what I'll do. So watch this space. I may be doing, well, it won't be Phil Ryder's Diaries anymore, it'll be, I don't know, something else. What's French for Phil Ryder's Diaries? Vida de Ferron. Who knows? Bike other than that, haven't been out on it a great deal, not as much as I'd like to, certainly, and that's my pure laziness. That's nothing to do with, actually some of it's to do with the weather, but there's no real excuse here. You can go out riding in all weathers except fog and ice, I suppose, and snow. And as bad as it gets around here, it hasn't been foggy or icy or snowy since about February, so yeah, it's just me being lazy, unfortunately. Jesus, that sun's strong. I can't see the road, literally cannot see the road. There we are. Yeah, bear this in mind when you go out for your early evening ride. That's exactly where that sun's going to be, because as you constantly flitter in and out of it, it's a pain in the arse. Yeah, anyway, the bike. Yeah, it's got a little oil leak. Not entirely sure where it's coming from. At first I thought it was a Scott oil. I was just over oiling the chain in it, collecting around the front sprocket. But I cleaned that down, and the oil that's coming out is clean. There was an oil change recently, and it looks like engine oil rather than Scott oil. Scott oil, it comes in two colours, blue and red, dependent on the temperature that you'll be riding in, because they've got different viscosities. And instead, the oil that's coming out is most definite amber colour. So it's engine oil and it's coming out from somewhere, and I don't know where. And it's a bugger to find, because by this stage, almost the entire block is covered in dirty engine oil. The only thing I can think of that I've done recently on it, or I haven't done it, was valve clearances. The cam covers had to come off for that, and maybe it's leaking from there, I don't know, but we have to have a little investigation, get it sorted out before the end of September. I want to take the bike back into Europe, this time going through Amsterdam and Belgium and Luxembourg and into Germany, through Austria and out into Italian lakes. That'd be a nice trip to do. There you go, little nod, thank you. But naturally, I'm not going to do a trip of 3,000 odd kilometres if I've got known oil leak. What do we got here? Foreign plate. We have got, is that France? Germany. And we're going to sit behind Fritz for a short while until we get out of falling rocks anyway. Oh, he's pulling in for me. What a good man. So I think we'll leave it there. That's Kirkstone Pass and Falling Rocks on the A592, and we've been talking about the trials and tribulations of riding out on an early summer's evening. Oh, don't you love it? I should actually slow down and just give you a good look at this, but I've got to watch the road. There you go, quick look to the right. That'll do ya. Alright, so take care everyone, and I'll speak to you all soon.